What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mr. Investor YouTube channel. Today is Friday, and I hope everyone is having a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. This video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be touching on Chainlink, VeChain, a little bit of Ethereum news, and also talking about why Fantom is absolutely ripping right now. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So it's been a pretty much a green week and a half so for the crypto markets here. The total market cap is at 2.4 trillion with Bitcoin sitting over 54,000. Ethereum inching up closer to 4K at just over 3,600. Um, Chainlink sitting at just under $27. Our VeChain is sitting at 11.5 cents. And then Fantom is absolutely ripped. 93% gain in the last 7 days, sitting at $2.30. So we're going to touch on why that is going on a little bit later in this video. But just to jump into it here, looking at VeChain stats, it's been a while since I made just a video on VeChain itself. So the X nodes here you can see have clearly dropped down to 2,840. Your VTHO burn has been pretty consistent here, 200K clauses for the week in the last 10 days or so. Pretty happy about that. And then just scrolling down to the X node events, Strength X, Thunder here and there. X nodes keep getting destroyed, so become more valuable as time goes on. Heading over to the VeChain Twitter here. They're not really posting any news here, but they are covering recent things that they did partner with or recent improvements or recent announcements from that all dealt with China, which I think is pretty interesting. So for me, what I'm seeing, I got one, two, three, four, about 7 tweets here talking about how they've done these things with China. I have to assume that there's going to be some kind of VeChain China announcement, or they're just ramping up their marketing. I'm going to inject some hopium here and hope that there is some kind of China announcement coming our way. Um, I don't have anything to back that. I'm just seeing it off of why they would be announcing all of these past things that are specifically dealing with China, considering that they have their hands in so many other countries and other companies. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. If I find anything or see anything, I will definitely let you guys know. But moving on, let's talk about Chainlink. Chainlink is sitting at just under $27 at 26.96, and they've been doing pretty well here with the integrations. So for September alone, they had 84 new integrations, including Cardano and Gemini, and they also have a fall hackathon for anybody that wants to learn how to do pretty much blockchain building with Chainlink. So it's pretty cool. I'm gonna be trying to get involved in that and see what happens with it. But Cardano, big project, top 10 market cap, and then Gemini, a very well-known exchange. So the fact that these two big companies or enterprises, however you want to call it, are using Chainlink as oracles is absolutely huge. And then if you look at their ecosystem right now, there are 839 total integrations, and half of that came from this year alone. So you can see here slowly and then suddenly it is really starting to ramp up here. And I would not be surprised if we see 1,000 or get close to 1,000 by the end of the year. So I'm pretty excited for where Chainlink is heading. I know a lot of people are, but the fact that they're this close to 1,000 and they're this still pretty young, I'm excited. And then this is just the Link Marine ranks and the wallets here. So if you scroll down here, here's how the wallet count has steadily risen since Chainlink's inception here. So August of last year, we're at 179,000 wallets, and now we're at almost 600,000. So a lot of people are waking up to seeing what Chainlink has the potential for and what it's going to be doing for the world as we move forward as technology advances. So that's really interesting, and we're gonna break 600K probably within the next month and a half or so. And then this is a really interesting article here that was dropped. I'm on Chainlink today, but it was also dropped on their Twitter. And there's a white paper here, or paper we're going to talk about in a second here. But it says how Chainlink unlocks the value of central bank digital currencies. And it goes on to say that as a global standard for decentralized inter-blockchain messaging, data, and token movements, Chainlink's cross-chain interoperability protocol, known as CCIP, offers a simple framework for developers to build cross-chain applications. When CCIP was announced during this year's SmartCon Summit, Chainlink co-founder Sergey Nazarov marked the event as a watershed moment that will unlock the full potential of the blockchain industry. At last month's Masari Mainnet Summit, Nazarov elaborated on the details of his vision for CCIP. He predicted that CCIP will be adopted first by DeFi, followed by CeFi, then fintechs and insurtechs, and finally enterprises and central banks, noting that all systems would eventually migrate to blockchain in response to user demand. CCIP will serve as an abstraction layer to facilitate secure messaging and interoperability between all of these systems and various blockchains. Nazarov said that central bank digital currencies will accelerate progress toward this interoperable multi chain world, especially as CBDCs move to blockchain based infrastructure. And then this week, Nazarov participated in a panel hosted by the Internet Economy Foundation, or the IEF, to explain how Chainlink oracles can enable cross chain central bank digital currencies that securely interoperate between legacy systems and any blockchain, and why this pivotal stage in digital transformation will benefit all participants in society. So, there is this hour talk here, which I will post this link in the description down below. It's also on the Chainlink YouTube channel. I highly recommend if you have the time to sit and watch this. It's very informative. If you don't have the time to watch the video, here is the paper that is associated with the video. It's called Establishing a Digital Euro: How to Ensure Financial Sovereignty in the Digital Realm. And this came out last month. And you can see here, Chainlink is right here in the bottom here. If you were to control F and see how many times Chainlink was mentioned in this, it's going to pop up about 9 times. And it has a nice little section in there all about what Chainlink is possible of doing, and Sergey Nazarov is an author for this paper here. So this paper, I think, if the EU is exploring a central bank digital currency, and they have their and Chainlink has their ties into this specific CBDC. I can only imagine that as more CBDCs are being developed, which I believe are 110 of them, if I remember correctly, that Chainlink is going to have a role in each one of those at some point. But I think right now that the fact that they're coming out and talking about this digital euro and Chainlink has their hands in it is very big. Another interesting article that I saw was Akala is using Chainlink oracles, and they're just one of the first parachains slated to go live in the Polkadot ecosystem. If you don't know what Akala is, I highly recommend you look into them, especially considering how Polkadot works and their parachains and how the whole system infrastructure is structured. So Akala using Chainlink, I like that a lot. Next up, we're going to talk about a little bit of Ethereum news. Very small amount of news here, but I just thought this was pretty interesting and needed to be touched on. The second largest bank in the U.S., which is Bank of America, has published a report on crypto mentioning Ethereum, DeFi, and NFTs. So this is Bank of America's global research here, and they specifically say that this is only the first inning. So yes, we are still early. It is very early, and mass adoption is going to come at some point. It will happen whether you believe it or not. And we're starting to see that as Twitter is allowing people to verify their NFTs, banks and funds, hedge funds are custodying crypto. We're getting there. We are getting there. And now with the talk of central bank digital currencies, we are heading that way for sure. So it's still the first thing. So we are still early. Unfortunately, I could not get the link to this paper. I believe it's paywalled or some kind of wall behind it, but I could not get to it. So that's just that little tidbit of information here. Looking at ultrasound money, in the last 24 hours, we've burned almost 12,000 ETH, which is absolutely insane. I believe that's $40 million worth of ETH burned in the last 24 hours. And if we were to simulate the merge, we are deflationary at this point with a minus 2% supply growth per year. So I did see another tweet earlier that said that the test nets, I believe is how it works, are all working together for simulating the merge. So people are assuming that the merge will happen before the end of the year. I don't know for sure, but um, the merge is definitely happening. And then lastly, Fantom has been on an absolute rip lately, up 17% in the last 24 hours alone, sitting at $2.33. And people are like, okay, well, why is this happening? Well, if you go to DeFi Llama, which is a DeFi dashboard here, you can see that the total value locked for Fantom, which is this chart here, It's pretty slow, stagnant, and then it just exploded right here. So yesterday when I was looking at this, it was at like 6 billion or 4.5 billion, something low, and now it's at 9.27 billion. So the total value locked on Phantom is just exploding. And not to forget that they have a developer conference in Dubai at the end of the month. So I think realistically here, if we were to take this total value locked and we see the market cap of Phantom at just under 6 billion, I would not be surprised if we see close to a $5 Phantom by the end of the month, assuming this growth keeps happening for DeFi on Phantom. But that's pretty much the video I got for you guys today. I just wanted to get something out there, touch on some things I thought were pretty interesting. If you liked this video, make sure you hit the follow button, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Mr. Investor. I tweet on here. I try to post meaningful tweets, see things that I like, retweet some cool things. So yeah, follow me on Twitter and then subscribe to my channel. And until next time, we will see you then.